Welcome to High Five DIY, that's high as in high in the sky. Hi, I'm Rachel and I like Jesus. Every year I go searching for the perfect nativity set, but they are so boring and bland. Okay, imagine with me, if you will, a carousel that has two platforms. They're both rotating. And on each platform, we have the nativity figures. So they're going around in circles on both the upper and the lower platforms. Whew. One sec, I walked up my stairs and that was too much work. Okay, but the idea, right? The whole style of it, I love Moorish architecture and I think it would be really pretty to have some kind of faux tile work on the platforms and maybe some of the architectural arches around the base. So this is gonna be pretty cute. Let's go! I have my motor here and I have a lamp cord and I'm gonna connect them together so that I can test the RPM on this. I think it might be too fast and I don't really want like pregnant Mary just like running in circles, you know? Okay, here's our motor. The motor is moving. Stay still, little buddy. Is it going too fast? Okay, now imagine, I don't know, the camels moving like that, or Mary. Actually, I kind of like it. I actually didn't like it and I went with the slower motor. Next, I shifted my attention to the platforms and I needed to find dead center in the middle so that I could put the motor here and rotate it without causing any stress on the motor. Now I need to drill a hole directly through them both so that I can get the shaft of the motor through them. Woo! I think that's about right. Woo! Next, I'm adding a turntable bearing on the bottom of the platform. These bearings are going to sit between the base and the first rotating platform on the bottom. And that's going to allow for just a free, more smooth movement. I'm going to spin those wise men so fast on this merry-go-round. I made this little piece to attach to my motor shaft out of this marker, this old marker. It's so funny because this is scented. I didn't realize it until I started chopping it up and then I'm like, wow, it smells like Lysol or something. It smells great. Now I have this other marker that's a little fatter and that one is gonna go right over this. This is just to give it something to cling to because you can see those little lines in there. They're gonna grab onto it. So I've got my shaft all glued in. So the motor will come up through here and then this plate will sit on top of it. The motor will attach to it and it'll all spin. You know what we don't get enough of in the world? Chemicals. We're gonna glue it on. This room smells like Lysol marker and this glue and the other glues I have. And I'm just gonna tell you, I'm having a really good day. I don't know why, I just feel really good today. I'm cold. That's my wink. Oh, call HR about it. Now we need to move on to the upper portion of the frame and the upper rotating platform. In order to do that, I need to cut this hole. And what you don't know, because I edited it out, is that I already made this whole thing once and it junked. It was a junker. And so I had to junk it in the junk and then move on to making it again. And that's referenced right here. I'm fearful. I did a little practice cut, but I just don't know if it's spot on. And that's what messed up the last one, was just it wasn't perfectly centered. Oh, no wonder. You dummy dums. Was that reversing that whole time? Don't worry. I'll give you good content. Just you wait. Mr. Higgins. YOLO again! Yeah. Ooh, it fits like a glove. I made this. I forgot to show that. So, this is the pillar, by the way. This is the pillar in the center that's going to go up to the second platform. So this connects to the bottom platform and will rotate with it. And up here you'll see like Mary and Joseph the baby. This is me drilling some shallow holes for the pillars to fit into. I have these cute little knobs that I got from the Hobby Lobbies. These are going to be attached to the bottom platform. These bolts are too long, so I need to trim them off with my grinder so that I can attach them underneath and they'll be what the whole thing stands on. This is my new line on my forehead. I was able to grind these down. I just needed this bolt shaft to be thinner than the board. So this is the bottom plate of the frame, and you can see the motor down here, and I needed to lift these up so it'll give clearance for the motor. I'm proud of you, friend. You made it to the fun part. Let's sculpt and paint. No, wait, scratch that. We're gonna do like a Christmas crafting montage. What? You're so welcome. Look, the motor's working. Now I'm gonna start making these little beads that go around here, and I'm gonna make them a little bigger than I want so that they can shrink down to the right size. You know what a much better idea would have been? Is just to do a string of beads and just wrap them around and glue them and paint them. And that's not what I chose to do. Who knew making 835 tiny little balls is gonna take a long time? I don't know how many balls I'm making. It feels like 835. I'm on to the figurines that are gonna go on this lower level. I want it to be the Magi, the three wise men and their camels. They probably would have relied heavily on their astronomical instruments, maybe mathematics. They were scholarly. They would have been familiar with the Jewish texts and prophecies. And so I want to kind of incorporate those things so that I'll just kind of represent the way that they kind of found and pursued Christ. Obviously, I think there's probably some more direct ways to find out about God or learn about God, but one of the things that I love about this part of the story is that throughout the scriptures, you see a lot of people who they don't have a full understanding of who God is or what God is, but they have these little pieces of truth. They understand some things about how the world works or how the stars work, or you know what I mean, or how to be a good person. And what I believe is that God is truth. Like, he has taken this chaotic universe and put it into order using the principles of truth. What I believe is that none of us have all the truth. We have little pieces of information that actually aren't perfectly right, but we're supposed to build on the pieces that we understand as true until we find God. And I believe even building on those things that seem unrelated, like understanding how the stars work or how the human body works or how to be a good person, if we continue after those things, if we learn more about them and expand upon that truth, I think we start to see more evidence of God. Maybe a different way to say that is that when we follow those truths that we're interested in and we feel driven towards, we almost find new scripture of God in them because he's the one who created it for us. He's the one who organized it for us, I believe, to learn about him. Yeah, so anyway, another Christmas art montage, anyone? I am so ready to paint this. Well, I feel like I haven't seen daylight in the last 3 days of editing, so I'm going rollerblading, but here is your nativity carousel, part 1.